Guys, you guys probably know by now that I made a comment under Rehab Room's previous video, and it's a pretty popular comment by now. Over 400 people liked it, and honestly, that came from my heart. Like, that is honestly sort of tribute to Rehab, but there was a reply under that comment section, and I really wanted to talk about this. And this is what I call the real man syndrome. It might take a long while to get to the bottom of this pit of crocodiles, but yeah, it's worth it. So yeah, you guys remember this comment, and this is my honest praise for Rehab. So look at this one response below. If you look up to Rehab Room, you didn't have a father figure and you're consumed by the idea of a world that doesn't exist. You've never tried to be anything or do a stagnant nothing. Like, like, this was my genuine question. And this guy will be like, bro, how can you quote Thanos? It's a fictional character. Brother, fictional characters are written by real people, and they always put the most harsh, realistic words in the mouths of fictional characters, which are supposed to be portrayed as villains. And they are portrayed as villains not because they're bad people, but oftentimes their takes are a bit too based. Now, well, Thanos' ideas might not have been the most based and realistic, but he had some very, realistic takes on certain things. Goes back to Thanos' famous "you consider failure" experience. And what I really mean here is I'm not telling you that Thanos is some moral character, like moral ground, moral high ground that you should try to live up to. What I'm trying to mention here is it's kind of a powerful line, and this is the problem with a lot of people. They really do consider failure experience. Where I'm from, women were fully dependent on men 1 to 2 generations ago. In the USA, this would be around 3 to 4 generations. And again, 3 to 4 generations, even though it's 3 to 4 generations ago, even the father of the average American was probably a guy who was just settled for. And he was settled for because by the time women are 40 to 45, they're physically frailer than 90-year-old men, and they get married to some oofy doofy because even desk jobs wear them out. They don't marry those guys because they want to really be with them or love those guys, but they rather marry those guys because those guys are cheap and easy labor. Like, imagine a 90-year-old guy being forced to work 9 to 5 every day and 6 days a week. That would be quite brutal, right? And that would be quite excruciating, right? Now imagine what that guy feels, and think that it's the same thing that a 40 to 45-year-old woman feels when she's working a 9 to 5 job. My voice is cracking up a bit today, but it's not what it usually is. So this guy replies, bro, you just quoted Thanos trying to make a sound point. Fathers teach their sons a lot about how to act and to compose themselves. It's clearly from many of the comments on this channel that they didn't have that. Most of the viewers of Rehab Room did have a father. No man raised by a good father would sit there wallowing in self-pity, because that is not a man. Except Rehab viewers don't sit there wallowing in self-pity. They have done all of this stuff. They just come here for the more realistic takes. And this is oftentimes just philosophy and often for good advice, so they can track their way in life. The whole motto, don't be a free agent in life and let the black pill guide you. There are bad fathers, yes, but even those can teach a mindful person what not to do. People fall too easily. Brother, you don't need a father to tell you that you don't need to commit a crime. Yes, sure, absent fathers can hurt you in the long term, but there is no two ways around that. But again, fathers possibly cannot teach you how to truly attract women, because most fathers in the previous generation, except fathers who were chads, and even those chads probably believe that it was their personality which attracted women. Most fathers cannot teach their sons, if their sons have trouble attracting women, why they cannot attract their sons. People fall too easily into the idea that the world was that their world was made around them, and there's nothing that they can do to change it. It's true that the world was not made around them. The world is built around indifference, and how much you can accomplish is determined by your genetics and nothing else. Well, again, I have to mention this, brother. They put the words of reality in the mouths of those they want people to see as villains. Those aren't fictional words or concepts, but truth from the mouths of a fictional character. Oh, that's not a man. Men don't wallow in self-pity. Yeah, sure, women definitely see men who are not attractive but hardworking as real men, right? That's not what research from Christine Larson at University of California, Los Angeles said at. Women paired with not attractive, hardworking men treated them like trash during ovulation, and you can look up this research, by the way. Same was discovered by EHG Cousins. Women into 2-year plus relationships were destined to less attractive men. The point of this channel has never been you can't change anything. For that, you have to be born with Crigler-Najjar syndrome. The whole point is that not anything can be done except plastic surgery to better your perception in the eyes of women. Oh, that's not what a real man is. Ask fathers, and most will tell you that women nagging, whining, and constantly nitpicking, having mood swings is just something normal. It just so happens that in research, women do not do the same if their husband is attractive. According to people like you, this guy had, unfortunately, it seems like most men, enduring spousal abuse and being completely emasculated in exchange for some twat is being a real man. Rehab has never said, don't make money, don't go to the gym. What rehab really teaches us is what our fathers would not teach us. Our fathers would teach us to live and replicate the same lives as them, and make the same life choices as them, and lead with money, and get with a woman who makes you feel worse than being alone. They'll make you feel lonely more so than you would feel if you were alone. He has never said don't go to the gym, don't make money. Tons of members in the community and on the Discord server, and I'm not personally a part of the Discord server, but I know some guys who are part of the Discord server. So these are the major questions that come up. They ask for solutions for specifically that. His entire motto, even though he is an atheist, is roughly equal to that Christian prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Of course, people like him overlook this, and because according to people like this, and they have been completely brainwashed by society's gynocentric beliefs, that until and unless you as an average man go through the humiliation ritual, which is the modern dating and marriage scene, you are not a real man. And compared to your father, the laws are even more biased towards women today. I'm having a complete fucking voice crack, by the way. So until and unless you do that, you are not a real man. And different from our fathers and grandfathers, the laws are so heavily biased that the woman that you are getting married to, if she is not attracted to you, she can abuse you, use you for your resources, and then divorce you and completely dismantle your life. People like Rehab Room really lead us away from that path of self-destruction and self-hate, and this is the biggest thing I have taken away from him as a person. He has really changed my life, and I hope he has changed yours as well. If you are lucky enough to have watched some of his content, and until then, know your place in life and act accordingly.